Well, thanks for talking to us. We're getting ready for your weekend's game, of course. I think most fans want to know how that treatment room's looking, first of all.
Yeah, we've obviously got Connor and Courtney. Connor's looking on track for next weekend, so we're hopeful with that. We'll just get him through some bits and bobs over the next week, to hopefully for him to be available. Courtney is progressing okay. His shoulder fine. He's got a slight problem in his calf, but we'll have to go off what he's saying. He can manage his body in terms of can we get him available for next weekend. Shiloh, he's had a scan. It's quite good news with the scan. We've just got to build up his strengths in the area that's affected. So hopefully he was in yesterday and the players were off. So hopefully we can get some good work through him, and he can get somewhere near for the weekend. If not, probably definitely for the weekend after. Ed Turns with his knee, again, it's a good result in terms of the scan. He went back down to Brighton. They had a look at him, they scanned him. There's not any severe damage there. So again, it's just getting him to a place where he's pain free, getting a little bit of swelling out of his knee. So again, hopefully for next weekend, he won't be available for this weekend. Owen Lunt has been back out running again. He's still got a little bit of soreness, but I think that's expected to be with that type of injury he's had. Anyone ess?
Yeah, we've got a couple of words. There's a long sort of answer to this question, but you've got Chris Long and you've got your two goalkeepers.
Yeah, Longi has been out doing some extra pitch sessions, so we're going to have to make a judgment call on that in terms of do we select him to be available for this weekend or next weekend. So we're all going to have a serious think about that and speak to Longi, and we're going to have to see where he's at, because we obviously need the players back. The goalkeepers are going to be some way off. I'm afraid, speaking to him, they're feeling better, but the type of hamstring injuries they've got, pretty unique really for both your goalkeepers to go through that, and innocuous things that happened, one in training, one in the game. You can't do anything about it. Sometimes you think in training, what have you done? What are we doing too much, too little, all that type of thing. But in games, you can't affect that. But they're going to be some way off.
It certainly has been a horrible time for injuries, and you move on. I know you don't use that anywhere around with excuses, but you just had a couple of bad home results, the last two in fact, but this is a real chance to get back on track.
Yeah, real hurtful performances and results from us all, and the players have been hurting from that, and no bigger game really in terms of what we've got coming up on Saturday. But regardless of who we're playing against and how well they've done, it's about what we've got to do. There's got to be some individual pride there in terms of what we've looked like as a collective in the last two home results. So the onus is on us to go out and perform.
The one thing about football is the greatest thing about football is when you've had bad results and bad performances, your next game is always the one that counts the most, and it's a chance again, as you say, to get back to winning ways. Yeah,
it is. And that's the beauty. I always say to the players, I understand that it might not work so much if you're not doing very well, but the beauty of football is the games come around really quickly, and the players have been really good at getting over disappointments and looking to rebound from that throughout the season. So, like you say, no better opportunity than Saturday. I've always preferred the games than training. We want the games. I've said that on numerous occasions, and a real opportunity for us to better showcase what we're about rather than what we've seen in the previous two home games.
Obviously, fans buy into how things are. They're nervous, they're tense because of the way it's ending the season. But it's a great position, like you said many times, to be in, and that's what you've got to play on. Yeah,
absolutely. Brilliant position for us to be in. I just think it shows how well the whole squad have done this season. I think we've brought an element of expectation back, and I can see so that hence then the disappointment, particularly from the last two home games, from the supporters, which I think is brilliant because the players have worked ever so hard to bring that expectation back, and it's expectation that we've got to thrive off, and we've got to relish. because I've said these opportunities don't come around every year, so we've got to grasp it.
You're with the players every day of the week, and you'll be thinking about it every hour of the day that goes on. How are you feeling in terms of how the group is? Have you sensed any nervousness, any tension creeping in?
Not particularly when you're with the group as a whole. They're going around and about their business. You know, you see them this morning, full of life, confidence. And then when they get on the pitch, on one or two occasions this season, it's looked that way, and rightly so. Young team, not many players have been in this situation, but it's about us relaxing, enjoying the occasion, enjoying the situation that the players have worked hard to find themselves in, because it's, I think, a stat that's gone around, you know, something like 70 hours just outside the top 7 or something from Forest Green. So they need to thrive off that type of stat, because they deserve to be where they are, and we've been there by being relaxed and playing some decent football along the way.
Biggest home crowd of the season as well, and no doubt about it. Again, we've talked about what footballers are made of. You've been there. There's nothing better than playing in big games, big occasions, big atmospheres.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to the same answer really. That's what you want, isn't it, as a footballer? And they've worked ever so hard to get themselves in this situation, taking loads of knocks on the way in terms of illnesses around Christmas, injury list, and they stick together, they work hard, so they've found themselves back in this situation where we need to win, and we're going to have to relish it, and we will relish it, and the players will be up for it, because they need to be up for it, playing against a really good team who deservedly been promoted out of this league. Yeah.
Next question is, Wrexham come, they are already promoted. What are you expecting? It was a hell of a game at the, I still call it the racecourse. It was a hell of a game there. I know you didn't get over the line with 3 points, but you know, you were involved in a super match.
It was a really good game, really good game of football. They threw everything at the second half, didn't they? Down to 10 men. Shows what they're about as a team. I think they've got obviously really good players, and I don't actually think the players and the management are going to get as much credit as they should get for what they've done this season. They've been as consistent as anyone, been in and around that top 3 for massive parts of the season, and obviously, you know, they've got well-known owners, and I think a lot of it gets deflected away from the players and the staff, but they've done brilliant to get out of this division. You know, they're obviously on an upward curve, aren't they? But congratulations to them and the players and the staff, because I don't think they get enough as much credit as they should do.
For you though, 2 games to go, you've got a 5-point cushion. Those 2 games are scheduled 2 games to go. 5-point cushion, it's down to you, it's in your own hands. Absolutely,
yeah. We look forward to the games, 2 real tough games coming up, isn't there? Like there always is in this league. There might be something on it for Colchester come the last game of the season, there might be something on it for us. All loads of different scenarios coming up, but regardless of that, it's about us maintaining our standards and getting back to the standards that we've set throughout the season, particularly from what's happened in the last 2 home games.
Over 8,000 are going to be there. What's your message to, you know, your home fans?
Really get behind the players, enjoy it. I think it's brilliant, the crowd we've had. I know we've been disappointed in terms of the performances we've had when the crowds have come in. You know, you think of Barrow in the home games. I know what the club have done for the supporters, and the supporters have backed that incentive in terms of the mini season ticket. But really try and enjoy it and get behind the players. There's going to be mistakes happening throughout the game through both teams, but really back the players, because we're going to have a right go. And
just one final point, away from all the build-up and everything, the club's been recognised. You got on the shortlist for the Manager of the Year award. Callum Agus got on for the Apprentice of the Year. Mickey Dimitrio, your captain at the moment, was in the Team of the Year.
Yeah, really pleased for Mickey. I think he's been an outstanding addition to the football club. And obviously his goals and assists obviously come out when you look at his stats, but I think his just overall demeanour and play on the pitch has been excellent and such an asset. And if you probably ask him, it's probably gone better than what he'd have thought. But a real asset to us, a top fella, good round the place. Obviously leads the team out when the two lads aren't playing. So delighted for him, but I think fully deserved. I haven't seen many better than Mickey this season. Playing at the back, we were watching the other day. You forget he's played left back for us a couple of times this season. You know, so a real top addition to the football club. Really top. Delighted for Callum. I think he's had a really good season. We're always slightly ahead in terms of players getting on the pitch, and so he's still a second-year scholar, isn't he? But he got on the pitch last week. I watched him the other night in the Cheshire Senior Cup. I thought he was really good. He's just a brilliant all-round person. Callum, you obviously get recognised for Scholar of the Year, not just for your football, but what you do, his college work, everything, his attendance for all that type of stuff is top-notch, and he just wants to improve and be a footballer. And it was good to see him there. Lucas Samp went with him. You just sit back and watch them trying to take it all in, because it threw me back how big the event actually was, so I couldn't imagine what they felt. And just in terms of myself, it's down to what the players and the staff are doing. I always say the manager gets all the pats on the back, he's the one who gets hammered, but it's just down to the hard work the players have done, and the staff. They've been absolutely brilliant this season, and it's down to that we find ourselves in a real healthy position.